of crazy nicknames. Ever wondered where they came from? Let's start with Everton. They're dubbed the Toffees, but why? Well, because when the club was formed, just down the road there were two local toffee shops. Ye Ancient Everton Toffee House and Mother Noblet's Toffee Shop were big fan favourites. Next, they say if you can't beat 'em, join 'em, and that's exactly what Ipswich Town did when it came to their nickname. The term Tractor Boys used to be chanted by their opponents as a way of putting the team down for their farming background. But during one game back in the late 90s, Ipswich were 1-0 up and they decided to flip the script. 1-0 to the Tractor Boys, they sang, and a new nickname was born. Let's head to Leicester, famous for more than just a red, well, orangey cheese and Jamie Vardy. Leicestershire's also the birthplace of fox hunting, hence the Foxes. Next up, turns out apples are not the only fruit that don't fall far from the tree. Bournemouth's nickname, the Cherries, comes from the fact the club's stadium was originally built right next to a bunch of cherry orchards. This next story actually involves two club nicknames. It started with Crystal Palace. They were having an absolute nightmare run back in the early 70s. They'd been relegated after a terrible spell and manager Malcolm Allison decided enough was enough. He wanted a new nickname, something strong, fast and destined for success. Something exactly like an eagle. But there's more to this one. Brighton were in search of a nickname too, and Palace finally gave them what they needed. In a heated match between the two back in 1976, Palace fans began chanting, "Eagles, Eagles," and some clever Brighton fans came up with the perfect reply, "Seagulls, Seagulls." Not all club nicknames have a crazy story though. Take the Gunners. That just comes from the fact a group of munitions workers in the Royal Arsenal factory in Woolwich set up the club in 1886. On the flip side, some nicknames seem simple, but there's a bit more to them, like West Ham. The Hammers is actually nothing to do with the ham part of the name. It comes from the fact the club used to be called Thames Ironworks FC and was made up of workmen and shipbuilders. So next time the away end's chanting their crazy nickname, you'll now know exactly where it came from.
Morning people, welcome along to Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. We're building up to the talkSPORT Breakfast Show back at 6 o'clock in for a treat today, again with Jamie O'Hara and Gabby Agbon-Lahore. But on the way over the next hour, here's all the details with our Nick. Morning.
Good morning, Shebahn. We'll start with the return of the Premier League. Obviously, it's back after the international break. We'll hear from Sean Longstaff on how big Leeds are this season. And we want to know also about listeners who are defying their age, with Jimmy Anderson in talks to play county cricket past his 44th birthday. Get involved on the usual number, 03717 223344, or text us on 81089.
Wonderful. You're listening to Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. I was just highlighting all the fixtures coming up for the Premier League this weekend. It's back and we're looking forward to it. It's Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. How have you been? What's been happening with your week and your life?
I've been all right. You know, I like an international break. I'm one of the weirdos. Yeah, I like it. Do you know what? Scotland doing well, aren't they?
I think that's why we enjoy it a little bit more. Because like countries like Wales and Scotland and Northern Ireland and Ireland had so much to focus on that international break. Whereas you guys are like, oh, you know, we've qualified, it's fine, cool. We're all bored. Oh, when's the Premier League back? No one cares about international break because you're so spoiled.
Well, it's not been, you know, I'm old enough to remember not qualifying for USA 94 and Euro 2008.
2008.
Yeah, the Wally with the Brolly was 2008 and USA 94 was probably like, I kind of remember Italia 90 like a little bit, but I think I was 5.
Just imagine the meltdown here at talkSPORT had England not qualified. That would be the worst thing that could ever happen to this radio station. Not me, it would be that.
All the headlines would be like Agent Tuchel, wouldn't it? But no, I'm just waltzing through, and you know, the questions are really question marks over the players rather than the manager. But I mean, loads of good Premier League games. We are back, aren't we? Any of them caught your eye in particular?
Oh, I can't wait for Sunday. Sunday, 4 o'clock. Get in my belly. I'm looking forward to a big derby game. I don't know, I feel it's the right time
Do you think
for Manchester United to go to Anfield. I just don't think it could get any worse for Ruben. Maybe it can. Yeah, I mean, I've said this before and it's come back to bite me in the backside, but I think it's a good time for him to face Liverpool.
Do you think Liverpool could lose 4 on the spin?
Possibly.
Well, it's at Anfield, isn't it?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
I've got a feeling like Liverpool are going to come out angry and they're going to absolutely smash Man United.
Well, thanks. That's really, really nice of you to think positively for us this morning, Nick. Looking at today's back pages for you, I mean, yeah, we're crying out for the Premier League to be back. The Rice is right as the headline in The Sun. Vieira sees Declan as Arsenal's next great leader. All of these, legends of the club coming out, and everybody backs Declan Rice. I mean, it's hard not to appreciate the job that he's doing. He's absolutely magic, isn't he?
He's England's next captain, I think.
Yeah.
I think he's the natural choice. He's a nailed-on starter. He's a real lead by example kind of player. And we need him in that sort of 8 role, box to box. So it's good we got Elliot Anderson as well. I might get into a bit of Elliot Anderson chat in the back pages.
Wonderful. Looking forward to that. All over the back pages and in the news today as well. Tel Aviv fans barred from the Villa match. Prime Minister condemns decision as wrong. Israeli fan ban sparks outrage is the cover of the Telegraph today as well. Back page of the Daily Mail. Police are wrong to ban Israeli fans. Nick going to be back with all of the look at today's back pages a little bit later on in the show. You're listening to talkSPORT and the Premier League is back, which means it's just 4 weeks till the next international break. However, will we cope?
And it's nodded into the near post, and Arsenal may just have snatched the victory in stoppage time. Chelsea have landed a blow on the champions. It's Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1. Don't be fooled, Arsenal, they will take Liverpool all the way. Semenyo getting to the byline, now pulling it back. Oh, how has he squeezed that in? Jensen scores. Manchester United are beaten again. The Manchester United have not only stagnated, but regressed under this manager. Erling Haaland had never scored here at the G-Tech. Well, he most certainly has now. It's his 12th goal of the season. To Moises Caicedo. Oh, he's rifled it in. What a strike.
The winless streak continues for Ange Postecoglou and the woes carry on.
If it doesn't turn around quickly, I think Postecoglou will find himself under pressure.
The greatest drama in the world. This is the Premier League.
Yeah, tomorrow lunchtime live for you here on talkSPORT 12:30. Nottingham Forest take on Chelsea. That'll be a good game. I mean, Ange Postecoglou has probably enjoyed the last week of kind of being out of the headlines and out the back pages. Has he had the time now to really focus and turn it around? You'll find out tomorrow here on talkSPORT 12:30. If you've got plans and you're heading out and about, download the talkSPORT app. You can take us anywhere with you. Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth this Saturday 3 o'clock, and then of course Liverpool Man United Sunday at 4:30. We're keeping you across all of those games on talkSPORT. Another interesting tie tomorrow to look out for is the relegation 6-pointer at Turf Moor. Too early to say that. Maybe too early to say that. We'll say it anyway. Burnley are in the bottom 3 with just 4 points from 7 games. They host big old Leeds team, who many are tipping for survival this season. 6'2" Leeds midfielder Sean Longstaff has told talkSPORT all the promoted teams this season are more than happy to muscle their way to survival.
Obviously, you look at us, we've signed some big lads and signed some really athletic lads. I think obviously Anton, who I'll play probably closest to on the pitch, is someone I look at and every day and I think he's absolutely massive, and then he still gets about and he moves really, really well. And I just think you look at the Premier League now and it's so athletic, and ultimately I think that's why it's so hard to play, and it's so hard to sometimes score goals, because everyone you play against is so good and so athletic. And I think last year, that's not a dig on the teams that came up, but ultimately I think whether you're sometimes too stubborn or you sometimes think this is the way I'm going to play and I'm not changing for anyone, like, it sounds great, but ultimately you end up sort of getting found out a little bit. And I think that's what we've done, not just us, but the promoted teams this year have done really well. Like, yeah, everyone's got a philosophy, but also if I have to change for 20 minutes in the game and we'll have to either be more direct or we'll have to do whatever to adapt and get a good result in the game, then we'll do that. And I think like I said, that's probably what we've been good at so far.
Leeds midfielder Sean Longstaff. I appreciate a big guy appreciating a big guy. You know, just little things like that. No, he's right. I mean, I think all the promoted teams who have come up have showed a little bit of muscle so far this season. It's difficult for them, isn't it? But it's looking like it could be interesting as to see how many of them will stay up. Will it be all three of them? Will it be two of them? We will have to wait and see. Leeds versus Burnley tomorrow at 3:00. We'll keep you posted on that one here on talkSPORT. Sunderland have signed some big boys as well. They're all above Newcastle, of course. Man United, Brighton and Villa. The Black Cats host Wolves tomorrow afternoon. Here at talkSPORT, we've been talking a lot about this potential cap on spending that the Premier League clubs are going to vote on next month. So one proposal is called anchoring, which isn't the way we do our job, but just same title, which would see spending on wages and transfers capped at 5 times the TV revenue and prize money of the club which finishes at the bottom of the table. So somewhere around £550 million would be the cap. Former Leeds chairman Peter Ridsdale isn't sure what this would achieve.
Football in this country is broken in the sense that the success of the Premier League is undoubted. I mean, the Premier League is one of the biggest success stories in this country for years. And when we're talking about anchoring, you know, it makes me laugh. Why are we doing it? 550 million? I think Manchester United's wage bill last year was 300 and something. The average wage bill in the Championship is 26 million. So the starting point is, what are we trying to achieve by bringing anchoring? And Simon's point earlier about when you're promoted, even if you've got owners who are wealthy, the system works against you trying to get into that top 6 at the moment. And then you've got issues around associated party transactions, which some clubs have better than others. We've just seen the recent Manchester City case. So I go back to square one. What are we trying to achieve? But the biggest problem is the distribution of cash right the way through the pyramid to make sure that the pyramid itself is sustainable without affecting the success of the Premier League.
Peter Ridsdale there, the former Leeds chairman, he's actually right. I mean, if Man United something like 350 million of a wage bill and you would be capped at 550 million, then happy days. Spend away, people. Is that right, Nick? Am I miles off it with the maths? Because I can't count. That sounds about right. Less than 550. Aston Villa spent more than that, right? Okay, fine. Oh, did they? Right. Some clubs may be worried about it. Okay, fine. We will see what happens there. Let's focus on some good news, shall we, for Jordan Pickford. In fact, Tony Cascarino and I were chatting about this on Weekend Breakfast on Saturday just gone, just how good he has been for England. Say England go on to win the World Cup. Does he become the greatest England keeper of all time? Does he hop up to the top of that list if England win the World Cup? It's something to consider. And he's agreed on a new 4-year deal with Everton. He said it gives him the opportunity to build a legacy at the club. The England number one's played more than 300 games for the Merseysiders since joining for £30 million in 2017.
When I first joined, it was a big challenge maybe for everyone to think, what can Jordan Pickford do? And I knew straight away I was going to prove myself and show people how good I am, and to do it at Everton and being here for so long, and the club putting the faith in me early doors and me repaying them shows the character I am and how I've driven myself to keep pushing to get even better.
You touched on it earlier and you've touched it before as well, but you've been here for more than 8 years. This contract takes you to 12 years at Everton, and you spoke about building a legacy. Is that something that's still in your mind?
Yeah. It's great, you know. Football is now they don't stay that long at clubs, and it just shows the commitment I've had at Everton and the faith they've put into me as well. So yeah, just keep building that legacy. You know, Southall is the great at Everton, and I don't want to be too far behind them, or if not be in front of them when my time comes to an end at Everton.
Okay, you love to hear it, don't you? I mean, Liverpool, Everton fans love to hear it. Liverpool fans maybe not so much, but if there's somebody who's just so loyal to the club and wants to build a legacy there, I think it's absolutely excellent. Henry Winter from talkSPORT, top journalist, saying he's got to be one of Everton's greatest signings, and you've had so many: Dixie Dean, Alan Ball, Alex Young, so many to mention there, and he goes into that kind of group. But just to commit to a club, and when people are focusing on going and winning trophies elsewhere, he wants to stay and commit and be loyal to Everton. Okay, it's hard for Everton to win a trophy. You just never know. Maybe if they went on a league run, a League Cup run or whatever like that, it could be possible. But just really good to hear someone wanting to commit there when everybody else, the outside noise, is like, oh, he needs a bigger move, he needs to go on and win. And that's actually something that talkSPORT's Drive co-host Adam Bent wonders why he hasn't done this already.
This is a surprising one, because he's been England number one, right, for a long time. So he made his debut in 2017. He's got 80 caps. And for me, in my lifetime, he's been England's best ever goalkeeper. And I include, obviously, David Seaman in that. I'm talking international football. Not club football, different, but just to go international for now.
Why is club football different?
Because David Seaman for Arsenal was incredible.
Oh, I see. Sorry, okay.
So he's been so consistent for England. I think he's been brilliant for Everton as well. 80 caps. He's been number one of the 4th highest ranked team in world football in terms of England. That's where the FIFA rankings are. I just think he's a goalkeeper. And this is no disrespect to Everton, because we established yesterday that historically we believe Everton are a big club. We're not calling them minnows. They're a big club, right? That he should be playing for a team that's in the Champions League or competing to get in the Champions League every single season. That's where I see him at.
What do you think about Darren Bent's comments there? 03717223344. Or do you like it for the romanticism at football that sometimes never exists anymore, that he's committed to the club for another 4 years? It'll take him to 12 years as Everton keeper. Or does he have to go elsewhere to be winning? That's not going to happen. He's committed to Everton. And also, he could win the World Cup with England next year. We'll wait and see. 81089. Now, by the way, we're taking your messages this morning on sports people who have just exceeded the age limit. Okay, so Jimmy Anderson is in talks to extend his contract with Lancashire past his 44th birthday. By the way, he looks great, doesn't he? Sometimes just keep him going just makes you look well. You feel good, you play good, all that kind of stuff. And it's got us thinking about the best middle-aged sporting icons. George Foreman, heavyweight world champion at 45. Venus Williams was still competing on the women's tour at 45. LeBron James, he's still playing, he's 40. His son plays with him as well. 81089, obviously Cristiano Ronaldo going in there as well. Who are your favourite 40-something sports stars of all time? If you want to add in a friend there who's exceeding the limits. I mean, you hear about 80-year-old woman or man completes their 100th marathon in their lifetime, and I'm like, who are you? I can barely walk up the stairs without getting out of breath. You can let us know your thoughts on that. 81089. Coming up next, we'll get into today's back pages. Good morning. Good morning, welcome along to Friday Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn with you. We're here with Adrian Flux. You can get a tailor-made quote for your commercial vehicle. Search Adrian Flux Insurance for the individual. Don't forget talkSPORT Breakfast back at 6 o'clock this morning. It's Jamie O'Hara alongside Gabby Agbon-Lahore. Some of your other headlines today: England internationals Beth Mead and Alessia Russo scored as holders Arsenal beat Benfica 2-0 in the Women's Champions League last night. Man United got past Atletico Madrid at 1-0 despite playing most of the game with 10 players. In the end, Atletico went down to 10 players as well. In other news, Irish golfer Shane Lowry will be aiming to build on an impressive start to the India Championship when he tees off his second round today. Lowry holds a one-shot advantage over the chasing pack on 8 under par after opening round 64. And Watford boss Javi Garcia says he has unfinished business at Vicarage Road after becoming manager there for a second time. He's been out of work since being sacked by Leeds in 2023. He said he's delighted to return to familiar surroundings, even if he was hesitant at first.
Gino, the owner, called me and spoke me about the option to come back, and then after 2 calls, not the first one, after 2 calls, I accepted and came here.
Good to have him back. I'm sure Watford fans feel that way for sure. I don't know if you saw the press conference yesterday when the journalist presented him with the bottle of sangria as well. I've never seen a manager so happy in a press conference. Give them wine. Keep them on side. Good luck to him at Watford. For more on this story, you can jump onto our website at talksport.com. Good morning to Muzz on the text, 81089. We're talking about sports people who have exceeded age, defied the limits of age. This is because Jimmy Anderson looks like he's going to play county cricket until after his 44th. Ben Ainsley is my favourite middle-aged sportsman. That's from Muzz. Good morning to Darren. Scotland and Wales only have a chance of qualifying for the World Cup because it's now 48 teams. The tournament's becoming a joke. Thanks, Darren, for your positivity this Friday morning. You sound like good crack. In other news, Sheffield Wednesday are close to being served with a winding up petition. This means controversial owner Dejan Chansiri could be forced to put the club into administration. This is sad news. It's all over an unpaid tax bill of around £1 million. Chansiri has been urged to sell up, but it's understood he wants around £100 million. Agreed. As experts say, he'd be lucky to get 10. Sheffield Wednesday podcaster Steve Spence told Kickoff that he's worried if a sale doesn't happen by January, Chansiri will start stripping fundamental assets from the club.
There have been rumours that people have been wanting to have a look at it, but they're just put off by him and his sort of his business mannerisms, if you like. If we get to January and he's still in situ, the worry is that he's going to continue to strip assets. We can't sign any players. We're blooding kids from the youth team that are academy prospects, many of which our best defender at the moment only signed his first pro contract in sort of July time. Hadn't kicked a ball until sort of middle to the end of September, and he's been outstanding. And then ironically he gets injured and he's out again. But we will end up, because we can't replace, the players that we have lost, we're going to end up sliding down the league.
He's absolutely ruined the club, hasn't he? Sheffield Wednesday's staff and players have received their wages late in 5 of the past 7 months, and as a result, the club was handed 5 different transfer embargoes by the EFL. I can only imagine you absolutely pulling your hair out, Wednesday fans. We'll keep you posted on this, or more as and when we get it here on talkSPORT. Nick is here for a look at today's back pages. Nick, favourite sports people past the age of 40?
Do you know what? I'm a big fan of Venus Williams. Anyway, 45, still on the women's tour. Also, Martina Navratilova, didn't she? She won a mixed doubles.
It's not Serena. It was Serena, wasn't it? She was playing to 45.
No, Venus.
It was Venus.
Yeah, but she's still playing.
That's mental.
Serena's retired, and Venus Williams recently played a doubles match with a woman who wasn't born when she won her first major title.
That's amazing.
Incredible. And she's also a fan of the punk band Rancid. Random bit of info, but Rancid are a great band. They sound like The Clash.
Can you dig out some Rancid music for me, please? Because I don't know DJ any rancid songs.
Yeah, anything from And Out Come the Wolves, which is a great album.
Okay.
Yeah.
Learning things we never knew we needed to know. Do you want to talk us through this Tel Aviv fan ban, please, Nick? Because it's all over today's newspapers.
Yeah, so this is Maccabi Tel Aviv supporters have been basically banned from attending their Europa League game at Villa Park next month. This is because West Midlands Police advised Birmingham's Safety Advisory Group to hold the match, this is on November the 6th, with no away supporters, because basically they can't guarantee their safety. Police say there have been a number of threats made around the match, obviously raising fears about anti-Semitic attacks. West Midlands Police say they support that decision to stop away fans from attending, and that's based on, this is what West Midlands Police say, current intelligence and previous incidents, including those clashes we saw in Amsterdam when Maccabi Tel Aviv went to play Ajax, and we saw a number of Maccabi Tel Aviv fans targeted and attacked in the street. And now this decision has come from basically a lot of criticism right from the top. Prime Minister Keir Starmer calls it the wrong decision. We will not tolerate anti-Semitism on our streets. The role of the police, Keir Starmer says, is to ensure all football fans can enjoy the game without fear of violence or intimidation. And I think we can all get behind that. When political strife, stops people from enjoying their time off, football is supposed to be, something we can all get together and enjoy together. Wherever you come from, we all put the same shirts on and support our teams. And it's supposed to remind us there's a world outside of all the war and the famine and the problems that we have. It's something that we all do together and come together for. So I think this is possibly a wrong call. Jewish Leadership Council calls it perverse that away fans should be banned from a football match because West Midlands Police can't guarantee their safety.
Yeah, another line here in the Telegraph, Tom Morgan and Ben Rumsby writing, Ofsted had earlier declared the fixture as high risk and said their warning was informed by violence last November. As you'd mentioned there, high risk football games, how many of those have we had? And they can manage to kind of try and keep them under control to not try and help.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame, really. It's dominating all of the headlines today. You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to get an update on managerial movements north of the border at Rangers and Celtic. Good morning. You're listening to Early Breakfast on talkSPORT. Good morning, how's it going? You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. It's Shebahn with you until 6 o'clock. We're asking you about your favourite 40-something sports people. Listen, they don't have to be sports people. They could be people who are just exceeding the health and age that you're supposed to be in life. You know, everyone starts to slow down at a certain age, and then you get, I'm walking backwards and I've got asthma, and there's like 90-year-olds sprinting past you on the way to the bus, and I'm like, what's happening here? Really fit people who have maintained sports. That's because Jimmy Anderson is looking to play county cricket past his 44th birthday. Some of these coming up in just a second. You've got Jamie O'Hara and Gabby Agbonlahor with you at 6 o'clock this morning. Some of your other headlines this Friday. The lineup for Rugby League's newly expanded Super League will be confirmed today. 2 more teams will join Bradford Bulls in the top tier after financially troubled Salford were relegated. The FA are talking to David Beckham about England using Inter Miami's training centre ahead of the 2026 World Cup. I'm sure he'd be happy to facilitate that. The MLS franchise, founded and co-owned by Becks, are based in the Florida Blue Training Centre in Fort Lauderdale, which England could use as a warm weather base. Already thinking about the team at talkSPORT who are going to be heading out there next year. Thinking, yes, Fort Lauderdale, that'd be nice. And also Premier League clubs are split on the idea of so-called salary cap. Next month, they're going to vote on alternatives to PSR. And former Premier League midfielder David Bentley told talkSPORT players should be able to earn as much as they can, but teenagers don't need to be as minted as they are.
The Ajax system sort of works where the kids, if you're getting 30 grand a week at 17, I don't think you should be able to touch that money until you're sort of 22, 23.
Yeah.
And I think if they did that, put it into sort of a trust sort of fund or something, put it away where they, you give them a grand a week or something, and the rest of the money goes into a bit of a fund. I think it's sort of protecting young footballers rather than sort of more experienced sort of players. But you've only got a short period of time to earn your money, and if you've got a 10-year sort of earning gap, I mean, if you like Ronaldo and that, you've got about 40 years, haven't you? But, but everyone, all the normal people. But I think protecting the young lads is the way that they should look at it, because I don't think you should have a 17-year-old walking around with 30 grand a week. I think that just smells trouble, doesn't it? But, I don't know. They just have to structure it and protect the players a little bit better.
I agree with David Bentley on that. Just having that little bit more protection to the amount of cash that you can have, because you could wander down the wrong alleys with that. And he's right, you've got to make as much money as you can, because it is a short career at the end of the day. But to have that much money when you're not even 18 is absolutely obscene, in my opinion. But I could be wrong about that. More on these stories on our website, talksport.com. Now, before the break, Nick Ellerby mentioned that Venus Williams was a big fan of the punk band Rancid. Here we are then.
Then you better come in. It's just ability, that reason that we're so thin. Living and dying, and the stories that are true. Sink into a collapse, knowing when you're through. Black coat, white shoes, red hair, cat.
Oh, that actually sounds like a banger, to be fair.
Black coat, white shoes, black hair, cat.
I was judgmental because of the name of the band. I went Rancid, no, I'm alright. But that is actually a bit of a tune, a bit like The Clash. Rancid, that's Time Bomb. Venus Williams' favourite band, Random. She was playing on the tour till 45, exceeding age, isn't she? Is Venus Williams. Good morning to Lee from Southend. He said snooker class of 92 and John Higgins, Mark Williams and Ronnie O'Sullivan, all still going strong. Brilliant sports people. Went to a sports evening last night in Burton-upon-Trent and met Kevin Poole, who holds the record for a goalkeeper playing in the EFL at 48 years old. As a goalkeeper at Burton Albion, he remained on the bench as backup keeper at 50. That's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for your message on that this morning. You can keep these coming in. 8 at 10 89. You're listening to us here on talkSPORT. Remember, if you're at home and you've got a smart TV and you can turn that on just now, you can now watch talkSPORT on the smart TV. You've got 2 absolute lookers with you at 6 o'clock this morning as well, and Gabby and Jamie, so it's worth turning on the telly for that, or you can stream them on the talkSPORT YouTube channel as well. Let's head north of the border where it's all going on, isn't it? Rangers close to appointing someone who will probably a little bit down the list of people they initially wanted to replace Russell Martin, who was sacked 12 days ago. We understand former defender Kevin Muscat is edging towards an agreement to take over at Ibrox. Meanwhile, talkSPORT's chief football correspondent Alex Crook has an update on Brendan Rodgers' future at Celtic.
This is a fascinating situation on the other side of Glasgow, such a hotbed for football, of course. Celtic, the reigning champions, still the title favourites, despite how well Hearts have started the season, light years ahead of Rangers at this moment in time. I think even a lot of Rangers fans would have to admit that. But Brendan Rodgers is out of contract at the end of the season. And as I've been making inquiries about what might happen at Ibrox, I have just been hearing a lot of whispers that maybe Brendan Rodgers could decide at the end of the season not to renew his deal and that the time is right to leave Celtic for a second time. If he does, I think he'd be on a lot of lists in the Premier League. And we could be talking, Jim, come the summer, of a bit of a managerial merry-go-round, because Oliver Glasner at Palace is coming to the end of his contract, Marco Silva at Fulham, Andoni Iraola, very sought after by some top clubs, is in the same situation at Bournemouth. You would think all of those trio would be interested in a manager with the CV of Brendan Rodgers. And don't rule out Nottingham Forest either, because Evangelos Marinakis, your pal, has been a long-term admirer of Brendan Rodgers, and obviously Ange Postecoglou is still on a very sticky wicket there.
Yeah, good point there from Alex Crook. Look, I don't want that for Brendan Rodgers. I'm surprised that he'd not signed his new contract. Then again, I think it's been probably pretty tough for him. It's a tough time. I mean, I know Rangers are struggling at the minute, but it's kind of tough at Celtic as well. The fan base are struggling a bit, and then of course the board didn't back Brendan in the summer. You know, going into the Champions League qualifying. They weren't back then with the players that he needed. So he's probably looking and going, hold on a minute here. You know, maybe I could get that support elsewhere. Good manager all the same. Positive note for Celtic fans. There's the reports going around that Bobby Clark, ex-Liverpool, is set to sign in the January window for Celtic. But yeah, these rumours swirling around on social media that Brendan Rodgers may not sign a new contract. He could be leaving in the summer. I don't know. Alan Brazil keeps mentioning it. And I wonder if Alan Brazil is like, he should get a wee job as a Sun journalist or something like that, because he's been mentioning it for a while. I hope not. But good luck to Brendan Rodgers all the same. He's a good manager. Very, very good manager. Right, it's competition time now. Do you want the chance to win up to £100,000? Yes, please. Thanks. On my merry way. This is our biggest cash prize yet, and we're going to go all out. Massive £100,000 to be won, completely tax-free. Here's how you can get involved.
18 plus UK excluding Northern Ireland. For a chance to win, text the word cash to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. You must have the bill payer's permission, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 3338. All entries must be received by the 6th of November at 4 p.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. Full terms and conditions at talksport.com.
Thank you very much, Voice of God. Now it's time for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move.
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast. talkSPORT.
God of early breakfast is with us now. Nick Ellery, good morning, here with some nonsense.
You're very kind. On the subject of God, just super quick, there's a really cool piece on the talkSPORT website about Elliot Anderson.
Okay.
I'll tell you where I'm going with this. He's nicknamed apparently the Geordie Maradona, and because he used to play at Bristol Rovers, and everyone there, like there's a great chat with the owner on. This is a piece on the website about how they always knew he was going to be incredible. Obviously, Maradona is known as the god down in Argentina. Yeah. Elliot Anderson, known as the Geordie Maradona.
Absolutely. Fair play to him. Do you know what?
It's
It's nice when players like Elliot Anderson have a window that they've just, that have that period that they've had at international level where everybody's then realising this player's been amazing.
Yeah.
He's really earned his stripes.
Since he started with England, no one else has made more forward passes than Thomas Tuchel. And like the way he's able to beat the press, it's the kind of that, and he's muscly as well, a bit more than like Angel Gomez, obviously, that we had before in that position. So great stuff. That's on the website talksport.com. Just very quickly, have you seen these sumo wrestlers fighting at the Royal Albert Hall?
I'm obsessed with sumos. I'm trying to get a sumo wrestler who speaks English on Weekend Breakfast this weekend with myself and Cass. So if you know anyone, you can send my way. I've got some numbers from Georgia on H&J.
Okay.
But they're just touring London. These massive guys loving their life. I'm a bit obsessed with sumos, I think.
Have you seen that they've had to reinforce the toilets at the Royal Albert Hall? Because they're obviously pretty big guys. There's a great picture of them here in the Daily Star, sat in an all-you-can-eat restaurant. Apparently they're eating London out of food. Sumo Mania sweeping the UK, leaving London at risk of running out of noodles. They've been devouring huge amounts of grub in the capital's restaurant.
That's too much.
Organisers of the Grand Sumo tournament at the Royal Albert Hall says wholesalers have run out of noodles and competitors were scoffing, going through 70 kilos of rice a day. One staff member at Soho's Bone Daddies said, I gasped when they walked in. They're so tall, but gentle giants. If you could have like all you can eat at any kind of restaurant, which would you go for?
It's got to be a curry. It's got to be a good old proper Indian restaurant. I found one in St Albans because if you're in Glasgow, you will completely understand that Glasgow is the best place, in my opinion. Maybe not India, I've never been there, for a curry.
Yeah, it's the home of chicken tikka. Chicken tikka masala.
Best curries, right? And then you move down south and it's not the same. Like, they don't do spiced onions.
I can tell you where to go in London. A couple of places.
Right.
East London, Whitechapel around there. I'll give you some tips after this. And Tooting in South London. There's a road basically just full of proper world-class curry houses.
There's a wee one in St Albans called Samrat, and that's becoming my go-to now.
Yeah.
I found a Madras. Never ever would eat Madras in the past. Now Madras is my go-to.
Yeah.
They do a prawn puree starter. Oh my God, unbelievable.
Yeah.
But they don't do.
Now.
I know, I'm always hungry. But they don't do spiced onions and they don't do pakora.
Tell you why, pakoras are great.
Shambles. Why have they not invented pakora down south yet?
I tell you, I never order rice. I always go naan.
Oh no, I do both.
Do you?
Because rice really coated in curry, rich curry sauce. I am starving right now. I could eat my own.
There's always too much rice on the table, so I don't bother. I prefer naan anyway. So I just steal other people's rice and sometimes just order a couple of naans.
I'm glad we've had this chat.
Yeah.
Are you interested?
Are you getting away for any sort of holidays before Christmas?
I've got nothing in. I've got nothing in the diary, no. Why, are you offering?
Well, listen, I have been trying to see if I can get some sun because we're about to, the weather's horrible. Families apparently are making half-term dash for sunshine to escape a battering from Storm Bram, which is on the way. Holiday bookings apparently up 68%. Good places to find some sun. Lanzarote. It says here Turkey, but I checked Turkey's it's only about 20. Once you get into November, it's sort of under 20 degrees. The place to go is the Canary Islands or potentially sort of Tunisia.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, great if you can go and get that sun, but the prices are also up by 68% as well.
I'll tell you where it's cheap at the moment.
It's an absolute disgrace.
Egypt is cheap. It's close to the wall.
There you go, that's your... Oh yeah, true. I actually went to Egypt. Was that last Christmas? We went to Egypt or the Christmas before. Nobody cares again. Nobody cares.
Well, we all need a bit of vitamin D.
Do you know what? I'm going to have a curry tonight and book my next holiday. You're listening to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we'll look ahead to this weekend's Premier League and Championship games. It's back, baby. Relax.
chance of sacked in the morning. That is what the Nottingham Forest fans think of their new head coach.
7 matches, that's now without a win.
And I don't really blame Ange. I blame Marinakis. How do you sack Nuno?
I think he'll get them going sooner rather than later.
It's a winner for Chelsea. Chelsea 2, Liverpool 1, and it's Esteban who has won it.
Hopefully that gives a boost. They've got a lot of talent in the squad.
Just that belief of that young team to be able to withstand that pressure.
But it's fast becoming clear that Big Ange has got a big job.
It's just who we are, mate.
Good morning. Welcome along to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Yes, the Premier League is back for you this weekend, as is the champ. We're going to keep you posted on everything here on talkSPORT tomorrow lunchtime, 12:30. Ange Postecoglou's Nottingham Forest live for you here, taking on Chelsea, with Big Ange still looking for his first win in 7 games. So where's that going to come from, eh? Probably looking at the same list. His next games: Porto at home, Bournemouth away, Man United home, Sturm away, and then Leeds United at home. Stuart Pearson, that package there, saying he'll really get them turning around, hopefully get them going soon. I am really sceptical about this. I hate to be a negative person, I really do, but I don't know if it's going to happen with Ange Postecoglou at Nottingham Forest. I've got a bad feeling about it. League leaders Arsenal go to Fulham tomorrow afternoon, and we've spoken to Fulham owner Shahid Khan ahead of that one. He's also the owner of NFL team the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Khan told us at talkSPORT he's not keen on the Premier League copying American football and taking games abroad.
We're going to be seeing Serie A games, La Liga games played abroad now. Is that something that you would support, at least the looking into taking the Premier League outside of the UK?
Well, let me just explain. NFL, why are we doing what we're doing? Okay, because it's a very American-centric sport. It's a huge cultural phenomenon in the U.S. It's saturated. For us to have the growth, we need international. Okay, but when you look at the Premier League, it's already an international sport. As I just said earlier, by far the most competitive league in the world. So I would then question, what is the need for it? So where the game is played, it has huge amount of international following, and it's competitive. So I would kind of question really the need, looking at it. That it's not what NFL needs and what Premier League, they're two different things.
Interesting chat there with our NFL correspondent Will Gavin, speaking to Shahid Khan, who's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you're watching on your smart TV, yes, I agree with you. That's possibly the best handlebar moustache I've ever seen in my whole entire puff. An absolute work of art there from Shahid Khan. You can watch that full interview on our website, talkSPORT USA YouTube channel. You can watch that there as well. It's interesting because the former Green Bay Packers player Scott Wells was with us on Weekend Breakfast last week, and he was very much so in favour of pushing the Premier League to try and go abroad, to give those fans over there who love and appreciate it so much. And he says when he comes over to England to do this bulk of the season here, he loves it. He loves that all of the fans over here get that as well, get that kind of return from following these teams all season, to have them there on their doorstep. It's an interesting one. It really splits people, doesn't it? 4 championship games live for you on the talkSPORT network this weekend. Middlesbrough versus Ipswich is tonight on talkSPORT 2. Middlesbrough boss Rob Edwards is expecting a tough night at the office.
Yeah, obviously a really difficult game. The squad is as good as anything in the league. Obviously Kieran's a really, really good manager, and they provide maybe the toughest test that we've had so far. Obviously we'll concentrate on ourselves, but clearly we've got to look at them as well. They're very good players all over the pitch. They've done a fantastic job in recent years, and probably after a little bit of a period of still working things out after a lot of change, which I can appreciate. They're going to be right there. So. A really difficult game, but an exciting one for us as well. It's not going to be hard to get up for this one. Ipswich under the lights at the Riverside on a Friday night. It's pretty good. Yeah,
sounds absolutely magic. To be fair, it's going to be live for you on talkSPORT 2 tonight from 7 o'clock. Download the talkSPORT app. You can swipe across the talkSPORT 2 and stay across our coverage of that game. Right, coming up for you on talkSPORT Breakfast this morning. You're in for a treat. It's Jamie O'Hara alongside Gabby Agbon-Lahore. Now, Jamie, I like that he rates himself. You've got to have your confidence, right? But he's been absolutely hammered by Darren Bent for putting himself in talkSPORT's five-a-side team.
There's Danny Murphy and you in the middle, you know.
Me and Murph popping it.
Yeah.
Where are you playing?
Crocky centre half. Sam Matterface right back. No, but jokes aside,
McCoy's not getting a team?
Nah, Coisty, mate. I got no knees, mate. Knobbly knees.
How good is that team if everyone was in their prime?
Yeah, it'd be all right. It'd be decent to get Jamie out of there. I don't know why he's trying to put himself next to Murph.
Do you know what I mean?
The cheek of him. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot more people at the talkSPORT that are getting the team for him. Parlour, for starters, is one.
Do you know what? Fair play, Jamie. Jamie Aherne was a good football player, by the way. Don't give him credit. Put some respect on his name. You play in the Premier League, you're a good player, right? We're doing more of these coming up for you on talkSPORT today. You know the international break is alive and well and we're creating our five-a-side teams. Don't forget the Premier League is back this weekend. It's Forest against Chelsea, 12:30 for you. Tomorrow, live for you here on talkSPORT. Coming up today with the lads on breakfast. England T20 batter Phil Salty will look ahead to the white tour of New Zealand. And of course, the Ashes, that's just around the corner. John Barnes is on the show to preview Liverpool versus Man United on Sunday, 4:30. Looking forward to that. And comedian and West Ham fan Tom Davis will talk about life under Nuno and his new show Spud Gun. You listen to Early Breakfast here on talkSPORT with Adrian Flux, insurance for the individual. Find out more, adrianflux.co.uk. Breakfast is next.